In this video, I'm not just going to review the latest entry into the Conjuring film franchise, but also the original 1980s TV movie starring Kevin Bacon, as well as cover part of the story behind the crime that inspired both of these films, an obscure part of the story that isn't brought up anywhere else and could very well be why it all started. Let's take a journey. What's up, Wildcards? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Wildcard Journeys. I'm your host, Eric, and I hit the road to make videos about the paranormal, various urban legends, or whatever I might encounter out there on the road. If that's your kind of traveling, welcome to the journey. Now, I am a huge fan of the Conjuring film franchise, and I thought it'd be fun to compare the new release with the original 1980s TV movie, The Demon Murder Case, starring Kevin Bacon, since both films are based on a true crime. You know, what they got right, what they changed, what they may have embellished upon from the original story. Now, if you would like to check out the original TV movie, it's available on YouTube in its entirety, and I provided a link to it in the video description below, as well as links to interviews with Ed and Lorraine Warren as they detailed their participation in this case. Best of all, there are no spoilers in this video. Now, both films are based upon a true crime that took place on February 16, 1981 in Brookfield, Connecticut, where a young man named Arnie Johnson had killed his girlfriend's employer, a man named Alan Bono. Prior to this, Arnie had reportedly been exhibiting strange behavior that was similar to what his girlfriend's younger brother had experienced when he was allegedly possessed. Now, this alleged possession became the basis for Arnie Johnson's legal defense at his murder trial, catching international attention as the Devil Made Me Do It case. The events leading up to the crime began the previous year in 1980 when Arnie Johnson and his girlfriend Debbie Glatzel were cleaning up a rental property they were planning on moving into. Debbie's 11-year-old brother David was helping them with the cleaning when he reported that he had encountered an old man in the house who pushed him into the waterbed and said he would bring harm to them if they moved into the home. From then on, it was David's strange behavior and fits of rage that would lead his family to contact a priest, who then, in turn, would eventually bring in renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren to assist him. Over the following months, along with the Warrens, 6 additional priests were brought in by the Catholic Church to perform a number of exorcisms on David. It was during this period, in the midst of one of David's fits, that Arnie Johnson challenged whatever was possessing David to take him on instead. Not long after this happened, Arnie Johnson was involved in an altercation with Alan Bono, which ended with him killing Mr. Bono with a knife. These are the bare-bone facts of the case. For further details, click any of the links below in the video description. Now, the new film doesn't spend much time on the court proceedings, which I was actually glad about, whereas a good portion of the original 1983 film did. However, both films brought up interesting points as to the veracity of not guilty by reason of possession as a legal defense. In the new film, Patrick Wilson states that the court acknowledges the existence of God each time someone takes a stand and gets sworn in, so now they would have to acknowledge the existence of the devil. In the 83 film, the defense attorney declares that the person has no free will while under possession, so they lose intent, which is required for the murder charge. I'm not an attorney, I just thought they were interesting points. And because it is a big budget Hollywood production of the Warrens' role in the case, they take a lot of creative license. But you come to expect that from the Conjuring films, and that's why we enjoy them. But I do feel the producers missed an opportunity by not including one of the very creepy factor from the original story. Now, I mentioned earlier that David Glatzel had seen what appeared to be an old man in the house that his sister and Arnie Johnson were moving into. This was not included in the new film, and I was kind of surprised. Don't get me wrong, the villain in the new movie is very scary, but the boy's description of the old man was kind of chilling, to say the least. He describes him as wearing a plaid shirt with burnt, blackened skin and feet like a deer. That's freaking creepy, and I think the producers could have got really creative with that had they used that depiction as a starting point. Just my opinion. In the real-life case, there was speculation that the fight between Arnie Johnson and Alan Bono was due to jealousy over Arnie's girlfriend, Debbie. The 1983 movie alludes to this quite a bit, but the new one doesn't. Also, the 83 version changes the name of everyone involved, and the new one doesn't, with the exception of the character portraying Alan Bono. The 1983 film is obviously dated, but there is a certain nostalgia to watching Kevin Bacon in one of his earliest roles, and Andy Griffith as the Ed Warren character. I mean, Matlock, Ghost Hunter. Who would have thought? On a side note, if you have Discovery Plus, you can catch Kevin Bacon's funny behind-the-scenes story from this movie on Josh Gates Tonight, Season 3, Episode 4, titled Ghostly Gates. And speaking of Discovery Plus, if you have it, you can catch an episode of the old series A Haunting from 2006 where they reenacted these events, but only up to David Glatzel's exorcism. They didn't cover any of the aftermath, the killing, or the trial. But it is worth watching in that they do interview Arnie Johnson, Debbie Glatzel, and Lorraine Warren. In addition to this, there is a brand new documentary being released on June 11th about this case on Discovery Plus. Now, there is one small, very interesting part to this entire case that caught my attention because it was never referenced again anywhere in my research for this video, not in any articles, either in the movies or the TV episode I just mentioned. In the extended interview I provided the link to down below, where the Warrens discuss their role in this case, they are asked what led David Glatzel to being possessed in the first place. Ed Warren states that David Glatzel's mother and his sister Debbie had gotten involved in witchcraft and that they had met up with a group of people while snowmobiling in upstate New York. This group of people were into practicing some very dark, very negative rituals. And at some point, for unknown reasons, David Glatzel's mother had a falling out with them. Could this falling out have led to them placing a curse on the family, and from there the possession and the tragedy that followed? Of course, we'll never know, but I just found it interesting that this group was never mentioned again anywhere else. Ever. So, final verdict on the new movie. I enjoyed it. I actually liked it better than the second one. There's always that concern when they get this far into a franchise that the quality is going to suffer, but not in this case. If I had to rank them by order of personal preference, I would say the first Conjuring movie, Annabelle Comes Home, this one, then the second one. How would you rank them? Let me know down below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, comment below, or subscribe, and you can catch all my videos as I hit the road for the paranormal, various urban legends, or whatever might be out there. Thank you again, and we'll see you on a journey.